you've talked a bit about arranging, but something a lot of people can run into is difficulties when arranging specifically for low brass, sometimes register, sometimes voicing. What tips and stuff do you have for people who are just starting arranging?
I can talk about arranging slash transcribing. Yeah, the sky is really the limit when it comes to that. But for me, and this is something I wrote my doctoral document on, so I do, I've thought a lot about it. Um, I don't really think that bassoon music, for example, is the best entry into Baroque music for the tuba. I think if you're going to arrange something for tuba, especially, it should be like what I have found the easiest time with is either vocal music or flute music. With vocal music, we're used to playing our bordonis and our vocalises, so we are used to playing phrases that are the length of vocal phrases. That music translates well if it is, melodic enough to be played and to not miss the text. Flute music works great if you take it down a couple of octaves. Generally, it's as challenging on the tuba as it is on the flute. So that's something that Toby had me, like he basically told me, don't come to grad school unless you can read treble clef down 2 octaves. And he would have me play flute music and trumpet music, all the time. So I sort of got in the habit of doing that, and then using that music. You can then you can arrange it or you can just play it. So a lot of times I just play it. Like I like to play the Piazzolla tango etudes for flute. You can just read them down 2 octaves and it works pretty well, or you can actually write it out. But in my opinion, that music is some of the best, it's the best type of music to try to bring onto a low brass instrument, as opposed to the cello suites, bassoon music, violin music, pieces written for instruments that don't have to breathe, or that don't have to breathe nearly as much as us.
And kind of speaking on maybe the vocal side, how do you keep it interesting without having lyrics and things like that? Because I know that can sometimes, at least in my experience, be a challenge when maybe the vocal line isn't as like active and things like that. So how do you keep it mostly the same? Do you adjust it? What's your kind of philosophy for that?
My philosophy is to keep the music exactly the same, and to same key usually, and to pick good music. So like I have a set of pieces of vocal pieces that I've played by Reynaldo Hahn, which those just happen to be, he's written tons of music and tons of art song, and some of them work better than others. And if you read straight off the vocal part and it's interesting to you to listen to, then it should be interesting to someone else to play. I have adjusted keys a little bit. I did a whole set of Handel arias and duos, vocal duos for low brass. And that's the only time I've adjusted keys, was in order to make something either for C tuba or for F tuba. But generally, I think, we should be playing in all keys. And if it works well, if it sounds good, then I try to change it as little as possible and leave all the markings in, leave the text, have the text there so that the player knows what they're playing about. But if I'm honest, when I'm listening to someone sing French art song, I don't know what they're singing anyway. So like I do kind of I would take liberties with the octaves that you're playing in, but not with the music itself, if you like it.